All right, what's up, everybody? It is a great day here today. Got one of my long lost buddies here. Always a good man of the conversation here. We got a lot of stuff to dive into. Um, First thing I want to dive into, I'll cut the music here. That's a great intro, Silver Scrapes. But we hit 50 subscribers yesterday, and that's something that's pretty impressive. But let's go straight to the point. The topics we're covering today are turkey season, some questions from Patrick, Tiger Woods. I mean, should we be worried about him? Gamecock baseball, other baseball scores, Frank Martin's future, and what happens today at Bay Hill. I mean, let's jump right in here, Patrick. How are you doing, man? How is Walford? How is everything?
First off, Sam, I'd like to say thank you for having me on and being a part of this journey. I know you're really passionate about it, and I think it speaks to your testament and your following that you already have 50 people on. But for me, I'm doing well. Walford's kind of opening back up a little bit, so can't complain about that. Just trying to take care of some business up here and have fun while doing it.
All right, man. This is a question that keeps on lingering, man. What is there to expect for Gamecock football this year?
Gamecock football, you can't put the bank on it or anything. I mean, the way the schedule looks, I think you got to at least hope for 6 wins. To have some hope moving forward. Obviously the non-conference schedule other than Clemson is pretty favorable. But if they can find a way to beat some teams that are down and out like us in the SEC, find a way to win those close games, and maybe a 7-5 year at best.
Where there's a will, there's a way. But I like what's cooking in Columbia right now, and I think you're in the same boat. But what's your favorite song, man? What's your favorite song of ever?
My favorite song of all time's got to be "Simple Man" by Leonard Skinner.
Yes, sir.
You can live by those words. I try to.
Yeah, man. Favorite food?
Food? I'm going what I had today for lunch, the torta from El Burrito. If you've never been there, you need to go. That place is awesome. Boiling Springs, South Carolina. That thing was that'll change your life, man.
I'll write that down on my list. All right. Jump right into turkey season, man. You're not really that much of a hunter, but it's always something for everybody to talk about, And have people in my channel even gotten their tags yet? Because I'm still waiting on them. It is getting to that time, you really need to start finding out what's going on, but the season's coming up, so you don't need to burn that old turkey out. But that's all I have to say about that. Let's really jump to the good stuff. All right, so Tiger Woods first. This is really up our alley, Patrick. Me and you really always talked about Tiger Woods and really followed him more than anyone has in Camden or anywhere, if you ask me. But what do you think Tiger's fate is for a comeback here?
If anyone's able to do it, it's Tiger. He's done it before. He's come back from some terrible things. But I think first and foremost, you got to be hoping for his health, his well-being. I put golf aside at the moment, and he's not able to walk. If he's able to stand, then that's good for me. I just want him to be happy, not only for him, but for the sake of his children, and to be a father for them, to be able to play with them. That's what you want. But I wouldn't put it past him if he can come back and play golf. Look, Ben Hogan, he came back from a horrific injury. So if anyone can do it, I think Tiger can. He's done it before. He knows what he has to do.
Well, we've seen it all along. Like, we've seen Tiger do the impossible, but can he really do it again? Do you think deep down, like this red shirt here speaks to me, but do you think deep down he can do the impossible again and win another major?
Oh, no doubt. I have faith in the guy. He's the testament of a human spirit. This guy, he finds a way. You talked about where there's a will, there's a way earlier with Carolina football. There's always a will, and Tiger Woods is going to try and fight. I believe in him. I hope he's okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to end it with this question on Tiger. Should we all be worried? Like, like if not golf, like what is next really for Tiger Woods? I know it's being a dad, but do you think he's going to pick some up along the road? Because he doesn't seem like one of those heart strung out media guys, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see him in the TV booth. I think Phil, that's up his alley. That's what he's going to do. But for Tiger, he's already started building some golf courses that are arguably really good. I think he would go down that way just to be into the game. But I think he loves competition. So somehow being around the tour, if he can find out a way to do that, I'm sure that I know they would be able to give him a spot. Yeah, I'm not really sure. That's tough. I mean, I obviously got to know the extent of his injury a little bit better, but moving forward, he's definitely has great prospects. He's got a big following. Everyone loves him.
Yeah, it leaves the world question like really what's next right now, but that's not really the step. It's really to keep his kids going, keeping his kids in good spirit because Tiger is a great dad to his kids.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next topic. This is a hot topic. Carolina baseball, man. Yesterday was the first shutout of the season, and right now they're up 1-0 in the bottom of the sixth. Runners on first and second, but it was their eighth straight win yesterday. Does Mark Kingston really have the Ray Tanner keys to get these boys back to Omaha?
I think he does. In baseball, I mean, we can debate this, but talent can take you a lot farther in baseball than other. Basketball, football, you need a coach calling plays. Baseball, you just let them out and let their talent drive them to where they need to go. I think Carolina's got a lot of talent, and that's because of Mark Kingston recruiting well. I think talent's going to drive us. You look, a team can get hot late with the bats, and if they're able to just hit it out of the park consistently, like they're doing right now, pick up some good arms, good games late in the season. They're definitely capable. But you look at the SEC, you look at the standings. It's not going to be a cakewalk. They got to go through.
It's pretty tough the next 2 weeks. So, I mean, we go to Texas and then we go to Vandy. I mean, it's going to be a tough test. But I mean, these kids are gamers. They're not really the flashy guys. It's the true colors of Carolina baseball, if you ask me, in the past. But it's exciting to see something brewing there. But yesterday, I'm gonna go back to yesterday, and we really set the tone in the first inning. I mean, Seitler had a home run in the first. Satterfield doubled to right center for 2 RBIs. And then, I mean, Wes Clark was still 1-for-3 yesterday, easy day with a walk. And Brandon Jordan had a career high 11 Ks and 3 walks on 5 innings pitch. And, I mean, boy, this pitching staff really, really showed me something last weekend against Clemson. I mean, it was true power pitching on both sides, but we beat Clemson. But, yeah, you go ahead.
I mean, whenever you can beat the team from the upstate twice, win the series, that's big. They're always a good program, like them or not. Beating them's huge. It's winning the state first off. You get confidence moving forward. But I remember back to a Mark Kingston press conference earlier in the year talking about how we're not just all power.
Yes.
That's big for us.
21 home runs.
Yeah, having a balanced lineup, everyone's jumping on the ball, and we're being aggressive, but not overly aggressive where we put ourselves in bad position. We're smart. Also, I mean, what you talked about, the pitching staff, I mean, they faced a good Clemson team and they proved themselves. That showed their mettle, and it's all about confidence moving forward. You're going to have to bank on it when you're playing the Ole Miss, or you're playing Vandy, you're playing Texas, you're playing Florida, and you got to have that in the back of your mind. You're able to go do it. And
there's no giving in the SEC, man. There is no giving. You really got to cut it out there and get it. But I have a question here for you. I mean, I've been watching this back of this Carolina bullpen a lot lately. And do you think Will Sanders is the unhidden gem behind or before Brett Carey out the bullpen?
Yeah, he definitely is. I think big thing for any bullpen, any pitching staff is having guys that can fill in, and he's filling in really well. That's what you need for depth and for just saving your arms late in the year. You got to play a lot of games throughout the season. And he's someone that can fill up a lot of innings. I mean, like you said, he's definitely a hidden gem, and I think he's not going to be hidden for too long. He's got that much talent, and he's got that special ability in him.
All right. Is it just me, or do you still think Brett Carey is still pitches unfazed, man? I mean, one
Yeah,
bad
yeah,
pitch against Clemson last weekend, but that was about it. I mean, the kid pitches with no emotion. What do you think?
yeah. I agree with you. I mean, he has the ability to just put it all aside. He goes at you. He's not scared, and like you said, he gave up that one bad pitch, and that was it. But he didn't let it rattle him. He came back and pitched well after that.
But yeah, man, I'm a retrace our Ray Tanner tangibles here, man. This team, I'm not going to talk about from the AD perspective, Ray Tanner, but we're going to talk about from the team. I mean, this team, they really have a well balanced lineup, and just they get the simple things done to lead to runs. And Ray Tanner did the simple things as a coach. You know, I mean, it pretty much speaks for itself. I mean, we hadn't seen a baseball team like this since the Holbrook era. I mean, Holbrook didn't really have a good team, but I mean, he had some guys there that really developed. And we got some other scores here to look at. Number 1, Arkansas over Murray State. Number 4, Ole Miss 4-3 against Belmont. Number 2, Vandy 5-2 against Illinois Chicago. Number 3, Mississippi State falls to Kent State 9-5. Auburn over number 23 Boston College 16-1. Number 18 Tennessee over Georgia State 5-1. Number 19 Texas falls 3-2 to Houston. We go to them next week, so that's something to look at. But here, number 24 Virginia Tech wins 6-4 over North Carolina. Georgia over North Florida 6-0. Notre Dame over Clemson 3-1. The Citadel 7-6 over NC-A&T. And let me just talk, man. Let me just talk about Devin Beckley last night. I mean, he came in in the 8th, and he really fanned the batters down to get out of the tough inning, and it was a good win for the Bulldogs there. Jacksonville over Wofford 8-1. That's in your neck of the woods. Coastal Carolina 5-3 over Miami, Ohio. Number 23 Alabama falls to College of Charleston 1-0. And then Upstate sweeps Radford to become 9-0 in the season, man. Upstate.
They got a program.
But yeah, leading into SEC play, man. How big do you think these 2 weeks are of just selling a statement for this team?
I mean, it's huge. We've been hammering earlier in this show. There's no cakewalks in the SEC. You might lose a series every now and then. If you're able to get off to a hot start and prove yourself early on, and looking back, that goes a long way. Building confidence again. That whenever you're not able to beat teams like Oral Roberts, your confidence might be a little low going in. Sam, I watched your show earlier, and that might be tough for LSU whenever they got to play Vandy.
Yeah.
But definitely winning early, that's big.
Yeah, but it's also, I mean, if they can get this win today and head into the tough stuff undefeated, I mean, it's kind of like a Ray Tanner retracing, because every time Ray Tanner would go undefeated in non-conference play, it's like the doors just open up wide.
You're right. I remember, when they called it Carolina Park back in the day, you would be shocked whenever they lost in the non-conference game, or before conference season really even started. But, getting back to that, that's a step in the right direction. That's what you like to see in Columbia.
All right, well, let's jump to the debatable stuff here of Carolina basketball. I mean, me and you have been talking about the inconsistencies of this team and the unstableness everywhere, it seems like. But they fell to Kentucky yesterday, a tough loss. I mean, it was kind of like a walk in the park for Kentucky. I mean, they really opened it up in the beginning, 92-64 final. Carolina finishes 6-14 on the year. But, I mean, really, man, do you think Frank Martin needs to go?
I think Frank's a great guy, and I think he's a good X's and O's coach. But the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting the same thing. That's what you see out of Carolina basketball every year. He's just, hate to say it, he's not that good of a recruiter. He's gotten a couple guys like Thornwell, Dozier, Silva, people like that. But he's just not finding a way to get the job done, and that's to win basketball games. You got to be consistent. You're playing a tough league. You got to win games, and you got to beat teams that are down and out like Kentucky this year. If we're not able to do it, then I think it might be best to move on. but he's had his time, which every coach in the past has had, and I think it's kind of detrimental to think back on that and think he can do it again if we keep after going through years like this.
Are you worried about him health wise? I know a lot of fans are. I mean, it's kind of demoralizing to see him out there on the court because I mean it's not the same Frank with the firepower. There's no consistency of getting on his guys. I mean, he just looks unhappy to me. I'm not going to speak for him, but he does not look like the true Frank Martin, as we all know, of coaching his guys and being hard on them and holding them accountable for their actions.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely right. He definitely doesn't look the same. Maybe that being his health, or maybe that just being a strange COVID year. I remember him talking earlier about how he really had to go back to days when he was a coach in Miami, a high school coach. And whenever they didn't have that many players because of COVID restrictions and COVID plaguing the team earlier on,
It
he
kills
can't
me.
really, he can't spend time with the team like he usually does outside of basketball. And he talked about how he didn't want to get on the guys really hard, and then them not being able to see him and really bond with them
Yeah.
so maybe that's it. Maybe it's just hard to put a finger on, but I hope he's doing okay, because he definitely doesn't look the same.
Yeah, he's fell under 500 since the Final Four run, and it's really just kind of keeping the fans thinking, man, who do you think we could hire next? Like, if he is fired, who do you think we could branch out and get? I mean, that's really the question.
Yeah, that is a tough question. Who you look around the college basketball landscape, you don't really know who you're going to go out and try and get. I thought back in 2 years ago we should have reached out to Mike Young, but
No
you
question.
know, I don't know who we would go at this year. Obviously talks would pick up if Frank did get let go, but it's going to be interesting, and then there are going to be some lean years in Columbia for some times to come. I mean, it's going to be hard to build back up, but it's a good place to be. You just gotta get it back on the right track.
Yeah, my man Andrew in the comments was talking about the boys suspension, the sanctions along the team. It's no postseason ban, luckily, but it retraces back to the good old days with Lamont Evans and the scandals of the spending on pro athletes. I mean, these aren't really serious, but they really do tie into recruiting. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and Lamont Evans put us in a bad spot. It wasn't with the university; it was just with just one bad apple. Being a little bit selfish, but I think South Carolina took its responsibility and is moving on forward rightfully. We let Lamont go, and he's at Oklahoma State, and I'm not really sure if he's still there, but if you're gonna do something like that, you got to take your punishment. I'm glad South Carolina's doing it, and thankfully, it's not as bad as other places have gotten.
Yeah, so they finished the season 16-4. I mean, there's a lot of questions going into next season, but I mean, Carolina does have a lot of guys coming back, but I think AJ Lawson, I think he's gone.
Yeah, he's entertained the idea before. I don't know how high he would go, but if he does decide to leave, best for if that's best for him, then let him go. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell a kid you need to stay in school whenever he has the opportunity to make some money.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll end it on the talk there for the Gamecocks right now. We'll jump to Bay Hill. This is a stacked leaderboard over here at Bay Hill. Like, I mean, it's like almost always, but at the top of the leaderboard, Lee Westwood at 11 under, Bryson DeChambeau at 10, Corey Connors at 10, Jordan Spieth at 9, Keegan Bradley at 9, Tommy Fleetwood at 8, Rory at 7, Doug Yim at 7, Richie Rowinski at 7, and Jazz Janawadanan at 7. And I mean, just looking at the top of this leaderboard, I mean, can Lee Westwood finally get it done? Can the old dog get it done?
Yeah, he's eligible for the senior tour, but he doesn't want to go out there. He's actually playing very well. You got to see today if he's able to close it out. It's tough whenever you're at his age and you got a lot of young guys that are superstars right behind you on your heels. He's going to have to play really well today. It's definitely going to be entertaining. We'll see if Lee can pull it out, but it's hard to say he's going to beat out DeChambeau and he's hitting it the way he is, how far he is.
No kidding.
Jordan Spieth is playing really well. I don't care about how
It's good to see him there. It really is good.
Yeah, you're right about that. It was tough to see him in a slump, but looks like he's coming out of that pretty quickly. Having a good year so far, and then also Rory McIlroy being 4 back that's not safe at all.
I mean,
yeah, we've seen in the past how low he can go. I wouldn't put it past him climbing up the leaderboard late on Sunday.
yeah. I mean, I got a couple questions here for you. I mean, these are basically like basic questions. If you had to choose between a Sweet Tea and Arnold Palmer, what would you choose, man?
I'm a big fan of Arnold Palmer's, but I'm going Sweet Tea. I'm a traditional type of guy. Yeah, I'm just going with the regular Sweet Tea. And that college sports makes it taste better. You know that.
Yes. The Arnold Palmer just keeps you thinking, though. It keeps you thinking for a good option. But the last question I'm going to cover here on golf here is who gets it done, in your opinion, at Bay Hill today and why?
Yeah, I think Jordan Spieth, he's building confidence. He's been playing the best so far moving into this tournament. I think he's obviously due. We talked about his slump that he's in, but if he can just find a way to keep his composure throughout the day, early on, get off to a good start and build up that confidence, I wouldn't put it past him. He's definitely within striking distance, only 2 back. It's anyone's ball game, but I like Spieth here.
I don't know. This is a stacked leaderboard, man, but I would love to see the big dog Lee Westwood win. That would be one of those fitting moments for golf for a guy who really hasn't had that big stage. I mean, he hadn't really had a big win. He's had a couple in the European Tour. He's been all around the majors in the past years. He just hasn't really sealed the deal. I think it'd be really good for him. But let's jump up to some wrap-up questions, and then I'll close this out for a song of the day. What are some goals for this Mark Kingston team, you think? I mean,
I think they just got to continue to not let the pedal off. Whenever in the past, Carolina baseball recently, you've seen they've lost some midweek games. You can't take those type of games for granted. Sure, you want to see other guys get some experience and build some confidence, but you gotta win those type of games moving into the weekend. I think they just need to keep their heads level and just play baseball. They definitely have the talent to do it. Just go out there and prove it.
If we could create any timetable for a Tiger Woods return, I mean, in your opinion, when do you think we could see it?
Yeah, I saw the other day that his recovery is about 1 year just to get back on his feet. Swinging golf club and walking are completely different.
And especially with him, it's really a question of how much more can he take, man?
Yeah, I mean, his body has been through it all. He's put it in the furnace throughout his career. You just want to see him back out there. I think at the least maybe 2.5, 3 years until we really see him competing, if it even comes to that. But, hopefully he's doing all right, and, we're sending our prayers out to him.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna end this here with a closeout song of the day, man. It's a great day out there to go watch a lot of good things on TV. I mean, we got some baseball ahead of us still going on. Carolina's still up 1-0. We got the Sunday at Bay Hill. I mean, this is the best time of the year, if you ask me. I mean, everything's starting to change. But I got our closeout song of the day. It's been great talking to you, Pat, but let's let it ride, man. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Good stuff. Here.
All right, I'm about to record a video and post it, and then we can go reflect on it whenever it's done.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you for your time, bro.
Hey, thanks for having me on. You're doing some good stuff here.
Thank you, man.
All right, I'll see you.
See ya.